everyone.
Hello.
Today we are going to be making a video of how our relationship started, the proposal,
Getting married, and then a year after.
And what we've learned.
So we could talk about this forever. So if there's anything specific, like our first date, how it was me transitioning into a Mexican family, things like this, we can make videos about that. There's their own separate thing.
We will make videos.
We will, but if you specifically like the idea, it'd be great to let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
But we're just gonna briefly go over everything. So it is, the reason we're starting is because 1 year from tomorrow will be our 1 year wedding anniversary. We have been together 6 years. We started our official relationship on May 27th, 2012, and we were really happy. So
yeah,
it all started. Shut up. It all started in May of 2012. I was having kind of a bad day, a mopey day, and Andrea had seen me in the halls because we hadn't seen each other that much that year. We had started being friends in middle school, so we had already known each other for 4 years.
Yeah, but we were like friends. We were more of acquaintances. Like we barely talked.
We were friends. We met each other on a bus.
Yeah, so it was just we were bus friends. It wasn't like he was my BFF because he wasn't. Were you my BFF? Do you think I was your BFF?
I guess not. Never mind now.
But we were friends, but not like friends that tell each other everything kind of friends.
Yeah.
We just talk to each other.
Like surface level friends.
Yeah.
We weren't like deep level friends.
So anyhow, I saw, it was during my English class. I am a very gossipy person. Most of you might know that by now. And I wanted to know what was wrong with Josh. So I left my class and I went to ask him. I was like, "Are you okay?" And then he started
all traumatic, and I was like,
no, he's not okay. He wasn't okay.
But she didn't have the time to find out, so she was like, "Hey, here's my number. Why don't you give me a call and we could talk about it."
And then he called me that night, and we talked on the phone for about 7 hours. No lie.
Which is crazy.
I know. I don't even remember half of the things we talked about.
Me neither. I know that we did start talking about what was going on with me.
But then we just drifted off.
We started reminiscing about middle school, and somehow 7 hours later we became a couple. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know how that happened either.
So the next day we were official, but for 1 day.
Yeah, because that same night when we became official, I was having doubts. I thought that we were moving way too fast. I didn't know if that's what I wanted. I didn't like him because I liked him a little bit, but I thought that it was going way too fast, and I wasn't sure if I wanted it or not. I'm talking if I wanted.
If you wanted the relationship,
yeah. If I wanted the relationship or not, and I decided that no, I did not want it. I was too scared, so I broke up with him.
She broke up with me, and
1 day later.
I was super mopey. I was like, whatever.
His friend even came to tell me
like,
how horrible
suck.
of a person I was.
That's a shout out to my friend Roman. We're still friends to this day.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was just trying to be there for me, because like literally the day before he's like, "You got a girlfriend? Oh my god," So pretty much after that, 3 weeks later, I went up north Wisconsin, and family has a home, no signal up there. So I decided after a lot of time to myself that we should give this another chance. I felt like she was too scared, she didn't give me a chance. So I thought, whatever, I'll shoot my shot and see if she'll take a bite, and if not, then whatever, I'll just live on with my life. So I had to stand in the middle of my bedroom for a 27-page text to send. It took about a half hour to send it because the signal was really bad, and surprisingly she got it, and she agreed that we should give this another chance.
Yeah, I wanted to give him another chance because first I felt bad. I know this is bad, but I felt bad, and I felt guilty, and to me, it was the end of freshman year. We were going to go on summer vacation, so I thought, why don't I just break up with him when September comes around, when school starts all over again, and this just like the summer, I'll just like play it off, tell him I'm in Mexico, and everything will be okay.
But we had our first date, and we
went to the zoo.
Went to the zoo, and she saw that I wasn't just a guy trying to be with her, that I actually genuinely cared about her and her younger sister's feelings, and she decided to give me a chance up until the end of the summer. We had only one date that summer. We only saw each other one time that summer because she lied. Really weird. We had our first kiss 1 month later. We held hands 5 months after the relationship started, but it was because we waited that it made our relationship special. So, again, we can go into detail about all the things about our relationship, but
that's another video.
That's another video. So, we found that we really love each other. She helped me, learn how to drive. She helped me, fill out a college application. She was really supportive of me, and at the same time, I was always trying to make sure to hype her up. We were really connected, even though at the beginning we were really polar opposites. And
we eventually just
decided
became the same person.
We did, and so in 2017,
yeah,
it was.
You bought tickets to go see Ariana Grande.
I knew that in order to propose to her, I told her
totally
that one day we'd get married, but I knew that if I were to take her out to dinner or something, she would know. So it was Valentine's Day, and I bought her tickets to go see Ariana Grande in Chicago, and I was like, this is the way she's gonna know. It's gonna be a secret. She won't know, So I had bought the engagement ring, and we went to Chicago, and it was snowing, and we had a good time. We went to the P.F. Chang's. We had dinner together. Went to
the Ariana Grande concert.
Yeah, we went to the Bull Stadium. We went to go see Ariana Grande, and I didn't know where I could propose to her, and I was like,
because he didn't want to propose to me during the concert.
Because that's so lame.
I know, people are.
She's done with this song. I'm gonna propose to you now. No, it was, and we were sitting next to a bunch of tweenies anyways. Like, this isn't gonna be cute. So I was like, and we were driving home, and she's dead asleep, and I'm like trying to stay awake, and I was like, oh God, I was like, when are we gonna? I don't know. So eventually, I pulled over to my old elementary school. I've had a lot of memories there. I used to go in a forest and everything over there. I pulled over, and I get out of the car and open the door for her, and she's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "I have to ask you something."
Okay, first of all, it was 2 in the morning.
It was 2. I forgot. It's 2 in the morning.
It was 2 in the morning. He pulled over. Yeah. My mom was freaking out because it was so late and I was still not home. And I was terrified. I was like, Josh, we need to go home. We need to go home right now.
So I started telling her how much I loved her, how great she made me feel. And I felt like I spent the rest of her life with her. And she was
I was just like, yeah, I know, but we need to go home.
She was really touched. Like, that's sweet, but we should go home. And so I got on a knee, and then again.
I thought he was going to tie his shoe.
She thought she was.
I don't know. I didn't.
She didn't think it was serious. And then I pulled out the ring, and then I saw, she's tired, but I saw her eyes open up. She's like, what are you doing? And I asked her if she'd want to marry me. And again, I feel like it took her a second to realize I was being serious when she saw the ring and everything.
Yeah, because I thought he was tying his shoe.
And she started crying, and
you started crying, and then that's how we got
engaged. And then so we got engaged in March, and August of that year, we spent the entire summer planning for our first apartment and planning for the wedding at the same time.
And it was very stressful. I will make another video about all of that.
But one day of my life, I'm always going to remember. It was the best day of my life.
It was the best day of my life, too. And that was August 6th, 2017.
We have now been married a year. Mm-hmm. And so we've learned a lot of things. So we want to touch on some of those things.
Some of the things we've learned. Which is the point of this video.
Yes.
And we will totally make sure to do videos of everything that happened in our relationship. Mm-hmm. But for now, because this is our 1-year anniversary, we want to focus on the things we have learned this past year. Because I have learned a lot. It's not the same thing, just being girlfriend and boyfriend. And I know that we saw each other pretty much all day, so it's we lived with each other. But it's very, very different.
It's different. So to begin to just to be funny to start off with, we our laundry is quadruples. She literally changes 4 times a day, and so I didn't realize how much laundry the both of us produced.
And he blames me, but I'm sorry, I like to be clean. Okay, but these are the things that we have learned so far. Okay. The first thing is to be patient. I have learned to be patient because I get mad really easily.
But I know that I can also be difficult too.
Yes. And I can be difficult as well. But like sometimes it's really hard for me to stay patient and I go off on Josh. And that is not okay. And what I've learned is that nothing's perfect. Nothing will ever be perfect. And as long as we have each other, everything will be okay. And I have to be patient with him because he is all I have right now.
I have to be patient with her because I understand that she has a short temper. And so, like, you know, you learn to adjust to those things. You learn to adjust to your significant other. You know, like, you have to, or the relationship's not going to work. Our old job, you know, not going to, you know, say much. We were appreciative of it, but we didn't like it. So we just, like, quit on a whim without having another job secure first. So, like, in an act of, like, desperation, I took a third shift job, and, you know, it brought money, and it allowed us to be stable, but, I mean, it was a total change for me, so I was always tired. She never got to see me anymore, and she, you know, we were newlyweds, so she was not used to being on her own, and all these things, so it took her a while, you know, and we got...
But I was patient.
But she was patient,
and
you know.
I waited for him, and I now understand that he took that job because he wanted us to be okay. But at the time, I didn't know that. So I was, like, very angry. And I was patient. And everything, in the end, worked out.
And, like, being married, like, just the act of getting married does not solve your problems. Like, you have to be committed to fixing those. You have to work together to fix those. You know, you can't just get married, get a ring, and just say, okay, everything's okay now. Like,
because it's not.
No, all you're doing is now that we have problems and we go to our houses every night. No, now you're living together. So if you have those problems, you can't just go to sleep and wake up the next day fine. You're going to be sleeping next to the person who you had problems with. So we really had to learn that we got to fix these. And we had also decide, like, some of the problems we fought over were not worth it. You know, it was petty. It was like, this isn't worth it, you know? Like, we really should just let it go. So...
yeah, getting married doesn't fix everything, guys. So
no.
Don't get married just because you think that the next day everything's going to be okay, because it doesn't. You have to fix them.
And, like, another thing would be, like, if one person were to go down, like, if maybe Andrea's having a really sad day or I got really sick, the other person really has to step up, even if, you know, not saying you don't want to, but, like, you know, you don't have a choice. Like, you know,
have to be there.
Andrea one time had a really bad ear infection that lasted like 2 weeks. But another separate occasion, I had to go to the ER because I got a really bad case of colitis, which is like both like had moments where like pretty much that person couldn't do much, so the other person had to step up by taking out the dogs, make sure dinner and laundry and stuff was done. So, you know, you have to learn to be there. You know, you're the person you're with is not always gonna be okay. Mm-hmm. And you have to make sure that you can take care of them.
You have to be the bigger person sometimes.
You know, just the common sense, being respectful. You know, and we agreed that actually isn't common sense. A lot of people are not respectful to their spouse.
But you have to be respectful.
You have to be.
Like, it's not an option.
You need to understand, like, when your significant other needs space. I still have problems with that. You know, it's because I don't want her to leave her alone in sadness. But there are some times where you need space. You need to give each other space because
we need to like calm down and then solve all of our problems.
And that also goes into that it can't be one-sided. We both have to put in effort. And that's not even just with problems. That's just like with daily stuff. You can't just one person be sitting down on the couch all day while the other person cooks and cleans. No. We're a team. If she's making dinner, I'm making sure the kitchen's clean, making sure the house is clean, making sure the dogs are taken out. If you know, if she's folding away clothes, I'm making washing clothes, washing dishes. You know, it's we work together. You know, you can't be one-sided. Like, that's not fair. Again, the only reason it would ever be one-sided would be if the other person became sick or something like that, you know?
Yeah. And if we're looking down, it's because we wrote
our
list down
in the notebook, so.
To take into account each other's feelings. We can't be selfish, and we can't just think about what we want. Mm-hmm. We have to make sure.
Compromises.
Yeah.
You know?
Because sometimes he wants to eat, let's say at, like what? I don't know.
No, but a good example would be like, you know, we also have to make sacrifices. Like a good example would be, oh, she really, 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 like, I don't know, like, she would really want to go spend time with her friends. And maybe that day I wasn't having a good day. I was like, I don't know. But I was like, you know what? I know it's going to make her happy, so let's do it. But the same thing for her. You know, like, there's maybe a day where, God, I'm really not in the mood for burgers. But she know I was really in the mood. So she's, I mean, it doesn't have to always be that way, but sometimes you make compromises because you want to make the other person happy.
You have to think about each other.
Especially when you're making big decisions. Like, you can't just go off and say, okay, I'm going to spend all this money on a car or a big 80-inch TV. Like, you need to talk with your spouse before you do that.
Another thing that we've learned is that we both have habits that we don't like of each other.
So, for example, like, she's like, oh, she is like a burden to replace the toilet paper roll. And, you know, and I'm just like, stop. Just, why do you do
But
that?
I am not going to put the toilet paper roll back. Just because it drives you insane and I think it's funny. And the day you stop complaining, I will put the roll of paper into the proper space. But I'm not just going to do it right now because it drives you insane.
So what's something I do that drives me crazy? Like, I feel like a lot of times, like, when I get home, if I'm, like, tired, I might leave my socks somewhere.
Oh, yeah. He leaves everything out by the door.
Like, my wallet, my watch.
And it drives me crazy because
like,
the house is
away.
all clean and pretty. And then he comes home and it's a mess.
So you have to learn that. You adjust to those habits. Now, another thing, you always have to be okay. I mean, sometimes you have to.
We still get mad about it, but it's not like...
But not, like, mad.
Like,
we get, like, funny mad.
Like, yeah, funny.
Dude, stop.
But it's not like I'm gonna start pushing you to do it.
So, I mean, and I think, like, you know, you don't want to expect everything. Like, yeah, okay, maybe there's a day I was working and Andrea wasn't working. And I'm not going to come home and be like, oh, I expect dinner to be done. I expect no dishes. No, I don't. Like, if I come home and, you know, she was doing editing and video, you know, whatever, and she's like, okay, you want to make dinner together? I would be more than glad to. Like, you know, I don't expect those things, and she shouldn't expect them either, you know? But that also goes into, like, to spice things up every once in a while. You know, maybe, you know, there's, on Saturdays when I used to work third shift, I'd come home, surprised with, like, some donuts and some flowers. And then there'd be some days where they'd be like, oh, guess what? We're going to have dinner. Oh, by the way, I made your favorite dinner. It's like, oh, that's really, you don't have to do that every day. But I feel like it keeps everything interesting. That also is, it's like a tie into, you need to appreciate the little things.
Yeah, we have to appreciate the little things.
The little things are very important.
Yeah.
You know, like, very important. I mean, did she notice that I saw that she, like, made sure the house was clean? Did she notice that oh no, like, another thing, I came home, all my shirts were, like, color coordinated.
Yeah,
That's
color
like
coordinated.
a little thing. It was like, that was really nice. You know, like, I really appreciate that, and I make sure to show that, you know? So, anything else off here or you think we covered everything?
I think we've covered everything. But honestly, we have learned so much about each other this past year. And I can honestly say that this is the happiest I've ever been.
And I would agree.
And I love you so much.
I love you too.
And you are my reason to live.
And she's the reason why every day waking up and going to sleep is fantastic.
Yeah, we love each other and we are so happy. And I'm so glad we got married 1 year ago.
You can always make it work.
We
always.
can. And we are not a perfect...
We're not. We have our
couple,
problems. We have our faults. So it's not one of those princess romantic. No, it's not. We're normal people. We have issues too,
but we have learned that we need to solve them together. Things are not gonna fix themselves, and in the end, getting married won't fix everything. Because I believe that people think that once you get married, everything is gonna be perfect.
No.
Everything's gonna be all pretty colors and rainbows, but it's not. And I think that the thing that I learned the most this year is that I learned that having you is all I need. Well, not you, and I'm so glad I have you.
I mean, I knew that from day one, but, like, it just got strengthened as time went on, you know?
And, yeah. We've been married for 1 year now. And I don't know if you guys know, but we got show them our tattoos.
We got matching
tattoos.
moon tattoos because, again, early in our relationship, the moon was a huge part. We always talk about how you look beautiful like the moon. I love you to the moon and back. All these things. So it was saw as like the moon is imperfect. You know, the moon is like how would you like, you know, like I see it as like a human being. Like the moon is very imperfect.
Like our relationship, but
it can still be beautiful.
Lights up.
It can still be beautiful, you know?
And it always comes back no matter what.
Exactly.
So yeah, we have our cute matching tattoos. And
so, anything else or?
No. I hope that you guys liked this video and give it a thumbs up, subscribe. And we will be making new videos about our relationship later on. And being married to you has honestly been the best thing that has ever happened to me.
Has been the best decision I ever made.
I love you.
I love you too.